Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Introducing Bark in the Belly Premium Dog Food. 100% of profits go to help dogs in need.
Over 30% of adults struggle with chronic foot and joint pain, and many face mobility limitations as they age. But a revolutionary Comfort First slipper has taken the wellness world by storm. Try Cloud Slides and feel you are walking on the clouds. Cloud Slides.
New rule. If you don't have two teams in your city that are on 7-game win streaks, you can't talk to me. Welcome into the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart on Rogue Media Network. I am your host, Cam Stuart. I know, Zach Burke behind the glass, keeping us on the air 5 days a week, live on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. So if you're new to the channel, check us out. Talking nothing but Boston sports 5 days a week without any of the BS that comes with Boston Sports Talk Radio. Of course, today we're talking about the Bruins and that 7-game winning streak, and once again beating Toronto last night, embarrassing them for the Bruins' second game in a row. Are they going to get the best of both worlds? Are they going to make the playoffs and get a top 10 pick from the Leafs? Man, it is fun to shit on that team. Plus, we will have Connor Long of the Jets X Factor joining us to break down and preview this Patriots-Jets Thursday night football matchup. Is there anything Justin Fields can do? Anything to keep them in the game in Gillette on Thursday night? Connor Long has got a surprising answer for us. Plus, it's Weird Wednesday, so we're going to take the weirdest sports stories of the week, myself and Zach Burke, and dissect all of them. It's all coming up on this episode of the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart, because that's me. This is fun. This Bruins team is fun right now. And obviously, the buzz around New England is the Patriots and the 7 straight wins. But the talk around Boston today is this Boston Bruins team can't lose. 7 wins in a row. Where the hell did that come from? Well, it's nice when you have the Leafs twice. Because as a Bruins fan, the fuel that keeps me warm all winter long, all the sustenance I need for a blooming spring ahead of me, is not flame, nor radiator, nor space heater. Nay, what keeps me warm and fat and content through these New England winters is purely the existence of the Toronto Maple Leafs. No matter what condition the Bruins are in, having the Leafs there just makes it all better. But the best is when the Bruins are good, and it's directly at the expense of the Leafs and their future. And that's where we are right now. 7 straight wins for the Bruins, back-to-back over Toronto, and those boys continue to slip down the standings while next year's first-round pick belongs to the Boston Bruins. Is there any team in pro sports today that owns another team quite like the Boston Bruins own the Toronto Maple Leafs? And I'm not talking like the Dodgers beating up on the Rockies every year. Like that's not fair. Okay. I'm talking 2 teams who have a damn bit of pride and are trying to win, and one legitimately owns the other. Maybe the Chiefs over the Bills. I'll put that one right up there with how often Kansas City beats them in the playoffs. Sure. But this is something else. There is a legit and very real, very obvious psychological advantage the Bruins have over the Leafs in pro sports. And you saw it again last night. 3 penalties in the first 10 minutes of the game for Toronto. 3 of the 5 Bruins goals come on the power play. Like, it's funny enough that the Leafs can't live with the Bruins on the scoreboard and can't beat them. Like, that is funny enough. But then they try to get physical. And this is where the real comedy begins. First, we're going to go to this hit from Nikita Zadorov on Austin Matthews. And all of Toronto wanted a game misconduct for this hit that we're going to show right now. Now, it's a tough area of the ice, right? He's close enough to the boards that sometimes you see a penalty there. But there's really not much here. Like, this is not a freight train hit. And everyone says, oh, Austin Matthews goes to the bench after that. That must be where he got hurt. He didn't come back in this game. No, that's not what happened. And I'll get to that in a minute. But if you're going to be the Leafs and you're going to say, how did he not get a game misconduct for that? This is such a dirty player on a dirty hit on our best player. If that's what you're going to argue, that this dude is taking liberties with our superstar, where are the teammates? Who's sticking up for him? It's classic Toronto. They've already had this problem. This year they've had this problem. No heart, no edge, no fire again with this Leafs team. And so then, because no one sticks up for his teammate, or their teammate, I guess. So since nobody sticks up for their teammate, Austin Matthews is going to take it into his own hands. And he goes to try and run into Nikita Zadorov. And if you don't know what that feels like, I would suggest going outside and just running full speed into the nearest brick wall that you can find. Because here's how it plays out. Yeah, he didn't get hurt on the Nikita Zadorov hit. He got hit trying to hit Nikita Zadorov because no one stood up for him. Because this team is filled with a bunch of children. If you're a coach or a GM, like, you've got to cut the entire team if your best player gets hurt standing up for himself, because none of his teammates would do it for him. Could you imagine if Wayne Gretzky or Sidney Crosby had to do that? No, you can't, because those teams won. This Toronto team's a joke, man. Again. And it even gets better because later in the game, Max Domi looks like this deleted scene from Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory where one of the Oompa Loompas has to fight a grizzly bear and just gets mauled in front of all the children. Zadorov takes pity on him because, like, could you imagine if The Rock, like, swung at a 12-year-old? That would be crazy. Max Domi trying to mix it up in here, and he gets exactly what he asks for. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like, what are you doing? The ref's clearly telling him to stop. Zadorov's like, do I need to delete this guy? Do I need to just throw him off the face of the planet here? Takes pity on him, says, actually, I'm gonna keep you safe. I'm going to do this for your own good. And then, of course, it gets better. It's classic Leafs. The whole world is laughing at them. And Domi skating off the ice, dusting off his hands like he won the fight. And the Bruins are the one going on a power play. And they score. And they put the game away. You can't write it any better than this. Truly. It was Pastrnak, by the way, who scored. Got goals number 400 and number 401 in this game. I've been betting him anytime goal scorer for like 5 games now. All I needed was for them to play the Leafs. Go figure. That's the only break we needed. But back to this. The Bruins own this team in the Austin Matthews era, because going past that would just be unfair. Like it truly would be. That would be just brutal. Looking at it from the beginning of the 2010s. In the Austin Matthews era, the last 10 seasons, the Bruins are 20, 13, and 4 against the Leafs and have won all 3 playoff series against them in that time. And each year, it's the same thing. It's the same crap. Toronto doesn't have the goalie. Too much skill, not enough grit. When are their stars going to show up in the big moments? Have they lost the game before it's even started? When are they going to stop letting the Bruins push them around? It's the same thing all the time, man. All the time. And nothing changes with this Leafs team. It's great. And long may it continue, by the way. Long may it continue, because the perfect dream Bruins scenario could be taking shape as we speak. The Bees look like a playoff team. They do. They don't look like a Stanley Cup contender. Probably not even a second round playoff team. But they do look like a playoff team. They don't look like a tanking team right now. If the Bruins make the playoffs, we get a couple of high-end, high-octane playoff games this season, and the Leafs end up with the 6th or 7th pick in the draft, goes right to Boston, I couldn't imagine anything better than that right now. It's top 5 protected, but the Leafs don't look good. I don't think they're going to be bottom of the division or anything, and so 7th might be a stretch, 7th pick in the draft. But you're going to potentially get a decent draft pick out of that. And if nothing else, you'll have 2 first-round picks for the first time in, 10 years. Oh, no, I don't want to bring that back. But this is fun, man. This is fun. And there is a scenario where the Leafs can turn this whole thing around. Okay, there is a way out for this Leafs team in what has been a very frustrating first season without Mitch Marner. The fans have already laid the groundwork for how the Leafs can turn this around.
Carlo, I'd want to boost his. I want to boost his value, and then trade him to like Seattle for their 4 first-round picks they have the next 2 years. Because maybe
who? Sorry,
Carlo. Trade him for 4 first-round picks if you can, because he has 2 years left. Eat half his salary if you have to. I don't care.
Yeah, there's no way they're getting that return, but I that's optimistic.
No, I mean,
they're not.
4 first-round picks. The Leafs are the only team stupid enough in the league to give up fucking 1 first-round pick for Brandon Carlo. My dude Prague wants 4. Oh, we'll just boost him up a little bit. We'll get his game up a little bit. To what, man? Cale Makar? Like, is that what you think you're going to make Brandon Carlo into for 4 first-round picks? You should be happy with 1 second for Brandon Carlo right now, who's fine. He's just a fine player, and okay, one of the players of all time. And they're just saying, well, this is easy. We'll just trade him for 4. Build him up and then trade him for 4. Build him up to somehow be maybe the best defenseman of all time, because that's what you would like. That's what you would need to give up for 4 first-round picks. 4 first-round picks, 4. Like that, you need to be prime Bobby Orr to give up 4 first-round picks. Quinn Hughes, if he ever got traded this year, he's not going for 4 first-round picks. And Prague on the phone's like, yeah, Leafs just got to do that. Leafs just got to figure that out. Because when they build up Brandon Carlo to that level, then they're going to trade him. This is so great, man. This is so great. And the best part about, like, just let's take the Leafs out of it. The best part about the Bruins right now and how well they're playing, because, everyone's saying, they're 5-on-5 numbers. They're not really sustainable. And I get that. The underlying numbers are not terrific. They're fine. They're not terrific and not brutal. But the Bruins have not gotten great goaltending yet. And that's something I think we all thought they were going to get this season, at least from Jeremy Swayman, right? Not from Jonas Korpisalo. But, like, they're not getting great goaltending. Swayman is over 3 goals against a game, and his save percentage is right at 900. That is bang average, actually probably in the bottom half of the league for starters. He's not impressing anybody, really. In that game last night, I think he should have had 2 of those goals. Now, it helped that the Bruins went up against arguably the worst goalie in the league right now, and Anthony Stolarz, and got 2 cheapies off him too. But like that first play, the awful, awful turnover from McAvoy, that's a high slot, no screen chance on a wrister. Like, Swayman's got to have that. And the Oliver Ekman-Larsson goal, I don't know what the hell he was seeing there. It was a long way out. There were some bodies in front of him, but nobody's blocking his view of the shot. And it sneaks in off the post and in. Like, that was a bad goal. And the McCabe one, I guess that's not that bad. But, like, he gave up 2 cheapies last night. And Korpisalo is making some crazy saves, but he's not exactly lighting the world on fire. In fact, he gave the Senators a point last week because that game went into overtime on a very soft game-tying goal. So say what you want about the Bruins 5-on-5 numbers. I know this. They own the Leafs, and they look like a playoff team, and they have not gotten top-tier goaltending yet or anything really close to it, if we're being honest. No shutouts from Sway either yet. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are there any 2 teams in pro sports, any 2 franchises in pro sports right now more mismatched than the Bruins and the Maple Leafs? And is there anything more fun than seeing this Leafs team crumble under the weight of the mighty 7 wins in a row Boston Bruins? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you live every weekday, noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts, as well as your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio, right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart. Coming up next, we've got to talk Thursday Night Football, Patriots, Jets, the rivalry renewed, and the Jets coming in red hot. You heard that right. Red hot. I mean, not 7 wins in a row, but pretty good for what the Jets have been so far. We're going to have Connor Long of the Jets X Factor to join us after this quick break on the Wicked Boston Show.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
A house is a property, but we live in homes. Home sweet home. Homes where the heart is. we aim to deliver the best home buying and selling experience so you can spend less time real estating and more time living.
With Ease US, make studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US. Nalgene Outdoor has been your trusted companion, fueling adventures and helping protect the planet. We're committed to reducing waste, improving access to clean water, and providing simple, safe, and sustainable products for you and your family. NALGENE.com.
Back to it. Wicked Boston Show, Rogue Media Network. I'm your host, Cam Stuart. Zach Burke keeping us on the air 5 days a week live on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. Zach had to tell me that it was time for another segment, that I couldn't just laugh at the Leafs the entire show. And I've pushed for that. I've lobbied for that in the past. The bosses tell me I can't just go in every show and laugh at the Leafs. So I guess the Patriots are playing football tomorrow night. Patriots, Jets, Thursday night football, two streaking teams coming into Foxborough, and a legitimate test once again for the Patriots, culture test, right? Thursday night, short week after a big-time victory. How do you respond? How do the Jets keep things going? Let's take a look at it from the New York side of things. Connor Long from Jets X Factor joins us on the show now. And Connor, I don't want to step too far here, but back-to-back wins for the Jets. Sweep the Ohio series, a bye week in between. Is it fair to say the Jets are hot coming into Foxborough? He might not hear me. We will get that squared away. Connor Long of Jets X Factor is going to join us here. Not sure if there's some technical difficulties on the other side there, but we're talking Jets, Patriots, Thursday night football. I think we've got it corrected. So here we go. Let's jump right back into it. Jets, Patriots, Thursday night football. Connor Long of the, he's going to come back out and back in. He just told me. So obviously I call it a culture test for the Patriots in this game, right? Like, obviously the Jets are not one of the best teams in football, and you just did beat one of the best teams in the NFC on on Sunday. And so it was a hard-fought game in the elements, in the humidity and the heat, and now you go into a short week, and that does become something of a test. Patriots, Jets, Thursday night football. Let's look at it from the New York side of things. Connor Long of Jets X Factor joins the show. The Patriots winners of 7 in a row. The Jets come in winning back-to-back, sweep the Ohio series, bye week in between. I think we might have lost him again. Because I'm not seeing any picture on there. Here we go. Connor Long, you got us.
Cam, thank you so much for having me, number one. Number two, I am so sorry about these technical difficulties. I'm not in my my normal setup today, so the Wi-Fi kept disconnecting. So I'm sorry about that. Thank you for
it's all right, man.
for sticking with me, and I'm looking forward to previewing this game with you, my friend.
It happens. We got you. Let's set the stage again. Patriots, Jets, Thursday night football. Pats come in winning 7 in a row, but hey, the Jets are coming in hot as well. That's why we're talking with Connor Long of the Jets X Factor on this Wednesday to preview Thursday night football. Connor, back-to-back wins, bye week in between there, sweep the Ohio series. Is it fair to say the Jets are finally hot coming into this game?
Well, relative, Cam, to the start of the year, where the Jets started 0-7, it is fair to say that this team is hot, and I think particularly that win before the bye week, the 39-38 thriller in Cincinnati against a Bengals team that knocked off Aaron Rodgers and the 4-2 Pittsburgh Steelers at the time on Thursday Night Football. I think that meant so much for this team going into the bye week, because there are older players on this team who are veterans, who want to win, who are leaders, players like Quincy Williams, players like Jamian Sherwood on the defense. Offensively, you have guys like Josh Myers, you have guys like John Simpson, these veterans who are leaders and fight so hard every single weekend. The results didn't come to start the year for the Jets, of course, and the fact that I think they got that that win heading into the bye week meant so much for this team. And then during the bye week, the Jets have the full-blown fire sale that contains trading away Sauce Gardner, trading away Quinnen Williams. And I wrote this up yesterday for JetsXFactor.com. I think Sunday's win meant just as much as the win before the bye week, if not more. And I'll tell you why. I know there's a group of Jet fans out there that are pro tank. Let's tank for the quarterback. That's a whole nother discussion that I think is completely meaningless, Cam, and I don't think makes any sense for any football team, especially as someone who covers the Jets and seen what their history has been with those top picks. But at the end of the day, I think it meant so much because it shows Aaron Glenn still has elite buy-in, as Kene Nwangu said after Sunday's game, from this locker room. When your team is 0-7, when your team is getting, blown out in some games and then losing these tight games and in games where you really can't complement each other, it's easy to lose the locker room, especially as a first-year head coach. But Aaron Glenn hasn't done that, and I think that's the reason still why this organization and Woody Johnson are so high on Glenn, and they're not going to evaluate him based on his record in year one. And most importantly, I think for this Jets team on Sunday, they complemented each other in all three phases. Special teams did their job, 2 touchdowns. The first quarter, a 99-yard kick return, a 74-yard punt return. The defense held Dylan Gabriel and the Cleveland Browns only 20 points, 7 of which came on a short field thanks to a Justin Fields interception. And the offense really didn't play well. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Fields in particular, 6 of 11 passing, 54 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Keep in mind, 42, Cam, of those 56 yards came on a Breece Hall slip screen. So a really, really dismissal performance for Justin Fields. And based on people I spoke with on the Jets side of things ahead of the bye week, I was told that Tyrod Taylor was expected to be the Jets starter in Cincinnati against the Bengals. And ultimately, we know he couldn't make the trip due to a knee injury. And Aaron Glenn never made an announcement as to who the quarterback would be. That's his whole thing. He's playing hardball with us. He won't say who the quarterback is any week this season. So he didn't formally make the announcement that Tyrod was going to start because of the injury, but it was certainly trending in that direction. And I think if Fields didn't play well in Cincinnati, we were looking at Tyrod Taylor on Sunday against the Bengals. But at the end of the day, this team has fight. They'll rally. And it's an interesting quarterback conversation as to what we're going to see on Thursday night, because you just don't know what Justin Fields you're going to say.
Yeah, let's go with the quarterback discussion before talking a little Aaron Glenn here, because look, Connor, I still got nightmares from a couple years ago, a Monday night game where Justin Fields with the Bears just ran all over the Patriots. Honestly, might have been the best game of his career. I think he ran for 80 yards and a touchdown, threw for another touchdown. It was quite an embarrassing night for the Patriots. But it's been a rough season for Justin Fields. He has just as many games of 200 yards passing as he has games under 60 yards passing, like last week. I'm curious as to when it is successful for Justin Fields, when he does have one of those games, what does it look like? What is clicking when things are going well for him?
Yeah, it's a great question. When Justin Fields is firing on all cylinders, he's a top 15 quarterback in the National Football League. The problem is those flashes are far and few in between, and it's way too inconsistent, Cam. I'll point out the most recent example, an incredible performance, nearly 250 passing yards against the Bengals, nearly a 70% completion rate, multiple touchdowns, was able to, go hand in hand with Breece Hall in the ground game. And then he throws under 60 yards against the Cleveland Browns. It's just so unpredictable with Fields. But when he is firing on all cylinders, I'm just going to point to the Cincinnati game. He is able to feed off the running backs that the Jets do have. Breece Hall, Isaiah Davis, this whole Jets backfield. He is able to feed off those guys. And when he's at his best as a passer, he is a solid passer when he's at his best. He's not a great passer. He's not a Jared Goff. He's not a Baker Mayfield. But I'm going to point to the 4-2 start that he had with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was completing over 60% of his passes. He threw 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, took another 5 in with his legs. So I think that's the Justin Fields that you're looking at when he's at his best. He gets you 100 yards on the ground. He's kind of taken these, not check downs, but, quick 5-8 yard passes, quick release. the biggest problem with Fields that I think has hindered him the most this year as a whole, he's held onto the ball for way too long, and the offensive line has done their job giving him enough time. The offensive line technically allowed 9 sacks in week 6 against the Broncos, and I did a film review on those. It was 9 sacks, actually. I did a film review on all 9 of those sacks, and I think I came to the conclusion that 7 of which were Fields' fault. I was very generous.
QB
I was
stat.
very, very, very generous. Like even a missed chip block from Mason Taylor, I said was the on Taylor, but yeah, he holds onto the ball for way too long. He hadn't thrown an interception until Sunday, but multiple fumbles lost. It's just, again, when he's at his best, he can win you football games, but when he's at his worst, he is an unplayable football player.
Which puts a ton of pressure on Breece Hall,
Yeah.
who's phenomenal, man. Cover the Big 12, man. I've been watching a lot of Breece Hall a long time, man. And I was trying, like, hoping and praying that 0.1% that maybe the Jets would trade Breece Hall within the division at the trade deadline. Knew that wasn't going to happen. But what a player, man. And that's a top 5 rushing offense in the league mainly because of Breece Hall. Now, the Patriots do have kind of comfortably the best running defense in football. That said, Connor, you're coming off a short week, a game with travel on Sunday that was hard fought right down to the last minute. Tough, humid conditions that kind of wears on these Northeast teams at this time of the year, as you know, covering the Jets. Does that give Breece Hall a bit of an advantage? Like, is that what's going to keep the Jets in the game?
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting conversation, right? I think it depends on the outside factors as well. The Jets are going to be without Garrett Wilson. He is out now 3 to 4 weeks due to a knee injury, the knee that he re-injured on Sunday after missing 2 games ahead of the bye week. So I think it puts all that more pressure on Breece Hall to succeed against a very, very, very stout, like you mentioned, New England Patriots rush defense there, because behind Garrett Wilson, there's no way of sugarcoating it. The Jets do not have any established wide receivers whatsoever. 4th round pick Arian Smith. People were hoping that Tanner Engstrand would be able to integrate him into the offense as a deep threat. That hasn't happened once this season. The veterans, Alan Lazard isn't anything. He was inactive on Sunday. Tyler Johnson is a wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6 on an average NFL football team. John Mechie and A.D. Mitchell, man, these are their chances this weekend. A.D. Mitchell was put in the doghouse after that brutal week 4 error that Jet fans are way too familiar with, dropping that ball before it crosses the goal line. This is new opportunity. He was inactive on Sunday. He was still getting acclimated to the environment. He was still learning the playbook based on what I heard. I'm expecting him to be out there on Thursday night, and this is going to be a big opportunity for him alongside John Mechie, who was also just acquired a couple of weeks ago, and he's looking for a fresh start too. So this is the game for those guys. When it comes to Breece Hall, though, he is going to need to have one of those 80-yard games on the grounds. And I think getting him involved as a receiver is going to be so important, because this is someone in 2023 who had 540 receiving yards on top of his 994 rushing yards. So he is a very, very, very talented pass catching back. I'm not only looking for him to, kind of show that inside outside versatility on the ground game, but also to be used as a pass catcher on Thursday night.
And you talked earlier about the buy-in that is still being shown with this Jets team, even at 1-7 and trading away 2 of your best players, they still come out there and get a gut check road victory. Like that's a huge deal. And then you mentioned it earlier, and so now you're kind of playing with house money the rest of the season. And if there is a buy-in here, how much more tricky does that make this game for a team like the Patriots that still has all of it to play for on a Thursday night at home? Everybody expects them to win and win comfortably. Do you think that buy-in can make it a little tricky for the Patriots?
I think the buy-in, Cam, I think where it's valued most is within this organization, because, again, this is a first-year regime, in particular, a first-year head coach with no prior head coaching experience. That's tough to keep the locker room bought into you. And once you kind of go from saying in the offseason, oh, we're going to do everything we can to win now, and then kind of walk back those comments 7 weeks into the regular season and trade away 2 of your star players in exchange for a total of 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. So at the end of the day, I think it's more of a testament to what the Jets have been able to build inside of the organization as it pertains to pressure on the Patriots. I still think the Patriots are a way better football team than the Jets are. They are way more talented across the depth chart at every single position. They are better coached. They are more polished. Every single category in this matchup. Injuries, the Jets have been hampered with them this week. That's in the Patriots' favor as well. I was very optimistic, I thought, Cam, on the Patriots this offseason. I predicted them to win 9 games. And among, I think, AFC's people who cover the AFC's non-Patriots people, of course, I think that they kind of had the Patriots winning in that 7 to 8 game range. I said 9 wins. What I saw from Drake May last year with nothing, no offensive line, Pop Douglas, who I love, great guy. I've met Pop a few times. I've had the pleasure to work with him, but Pop Douglas is, recording 550 yards as your wide receiver 1. No pass catchers at all, a defense that didn't do you any favors. And then you look at the offseason that they had. I think taking Will Campbell was by far and away the excellent draft choice there. Going one and done with Jerod Mayo, I think, was so important for this organization, Cam, right? Because Mike Vrabel became available, and I think that people were having one and done conversations with AG 5 weeks into the year. I just never thought Woody Johnson was going to be able to admit after year 1 he made a mistake and move on from Glenn after year 1. So at the end of the day, I think these are 2 interesting teams going head to head, because in the offseason, they were in a very, very, very similar place. In January, the Jets and the Patriots were in an eerily similar place. One team is 7-2, one team is 2-7. Now you're going to see them meet in Foxborough in a primetime matchup. So look, the Jets, there's a world where I can see them being in this game, but I think it's going to be the Patriots, and I think this could be a 2-3 score blowout. I think it's going to be a battle of defense when it comes to the Jets, and I've been clamoring all week. Tyrod Taylor needs to start for this Jets team if they want to win on Thursday. Look, Justin Fields, again, too inconsistent, and my whole point is the Jets show half of what they did on special teams on Sunday. They give that same defensive effort. They can be in this game with New England. They can, because we've seen games where New England comes out flat, 24-23 against the Atlanta Falcons on a, what would have you tied the game from Parker Romo on an extra point. He missed that. That was the difference between the Patriots winning and losing against the Atlanta Falcons. So I think Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor, that could be the difference maker on Thursday night. And as a reporter, I'm just looking looking around at every other reporter, at every member of this fan base, and Aaron Glenn isn't going to get much flack if he benches Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor starts, and the Jets, just lose. But if Justin Fields goes out there and starts, and the Jets lose because of Justin Fields, the headlines are going to be inescapable for Aaron Glenn, for this entire Jets organization. So he will not start Tyrod Taylor, in my opinion, but I certainly think that would be the right way to go about business on Thursday night.
And I don't mean to be cruel, but you look back at the last time these two met last year on Thursday Night Football, anyway, the first matchup of the season, and how different it was. Rodgers was back. He had a great game. They crushed the Patriots, and it was finally maybe a real tangible turn in this rivalry. And here we are 14 months later, talking about a 7-2 versus a 2-7. This is why Connor Long deserves extra credit here for covering this team inside and out every day. Connor, we really appreciate you coming on, but before you go, can you let the people know where they can find your work and get ready for this game?
First off, smash the like here. Subscribe to Cam. Does a great job. Appreciate you having me, my friend. You guys can find me at Connor_Long15 on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Read my work every day, jetsxfactor.com, credentialed reporter over there. And then I go live about once every 2 days on my YouTube channel, NY Flight Jets Talk, where we kind of hang out, break down the latest with the Jets. And you mentioned that week 3 game, Cam. I was at MetLife. I was covering that game. I remember saying that was the loudest I had ever heard MetLife Stadium. And that is where everyone thought this team was turning a corner with Aaron Rodgers. We thought that was just the beginning of everything. And it was the beginning and the end at the same time. Because they ultimately, remember, they went on to lose in week 4 against the Broncos 10-9, and then the massacre in London, and it all spiraled out of control since then. So the Patriots were the biggest highlight of Aaron Rodgers' tenure with the Jets.
Oh man, kind of a bummer. But Connor, we're gonna have the Jets one more time this season, so look forward to having you back on the show and talking to you about it. But appreciate you taking the time today.
Awesome. Looking forward to being back. Great to be with you, Cam. Have a great rest of your day, and It's going to be an interesting game on Thursday night, my friend. Talk soon.
Certainly will be. There he goes. Connor Long, Jets X Factor, and covering the Jets in so many different ways. Check out that work and get ready for this Thursday night football game. Let us know what you think is going to happen in the game. Score predictions, let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you live every weekday on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts as well, here on your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio, The Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart. When we come back, we're getting weird. Zach Burke and myself getting weird live on YouTube. Weird Wednesdays, weirdest sports stories of the week. It's coming up next on The Wicked Boston Show.
Conference titles, playoff hopes, everything's on the line. A single loss can end it all. No one gets you closer to the college football action than DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code CAMSHOW, that's code CAMSHOW, to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort Kansas, pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Circulon C1 Series Clad with Scratch Defense Non-Stick. Maximize cooking, minimize cleaning. Discover the unmatched durability and elegance scratch-free, worry-free, forever.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops made clean, made to clean.
Now back to the show, the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart, powered by Rogue Media Network. It's live on YouTube every weekday, noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. We've talked about it. The Bruins own the Leafs, man. It's so funny. We also went over, well, I guess the Patriots kind of own the Jets too. It's going to be an intriguing matchup on Thursday Night Football. Thank you to Connor Long for working through the technical difficulties and coming on and joining us and giving us a great preview of that game from the gangrene side of things. It is a weird Wednesday, though. And in the third segment, what we do is we have Zach Burke, my producer from Behind the Glass, producer extraordinaire, come out from behind the glass and give us the three weird, well, I don't limit him to three, the weirdest sports stories of the week. And sometimes I even put on the special jersey that I know he will like. Zach, are we ready to go with this thing?
Yeah, no, we are. I was waiting for you to
awesome.
Like, boom. I even have a banner this week too.
And before we do go, by the way, I did text you this last night, but I think it's worth for the fans to hear that listen along. The jersey's been ordered. Okay.
Yeah.
I got a great deal on it. It was $80 off. I ordered the Nikita Zadorov jersey. I did get the white one, although I have been really teased by the black one recently, Zach. I like the white one better. And that's why I went and got it. But like Bruins wear black and a big tough guy Zadorov, like that should be on a black jersey, I thought. But I was like, you know what? But then at some point I'll get the white jersey and I'll like that one better and I'll only want to wear that one. So why don't I put the guy I want on the back of the shirt that I'm going to wear? Plus I have the Centennial game jersey from last year, which looks pretty similar. So to the black one they have now, which you got Pastrnak on the back. So anyway, it is a weird Wednesday. The weirdest sports stories of the week. Zach Burke, what do you have for us?
So I listened and I didn't think it came up. Well, I guess let me start with this way. A lot of weird coach stories, I guess, or things that could be seen as taken weird that I could have talked about. Doug Christie, Kings head coach, had a very brief pregame meeting moment yesterday where he introduced himself to the crowd by his full name before essentially giving the speech of like I get what he was going for, of just telling them all like, hey, you know, all our haters out there are going to be betting against us. Me and maybe Rick Adelman, and I think he said somebody else, know like what King's pain is. We're going to get there. We just have a game plan. It was just very, he like slapped the table, got up and left. No questions. It's kind of, okay, that's a little odd.
All right.
But the coaching story to me that was most interesting has to do with the Thursday night game tomorrow night. Have you heard about this with Garrett Wilson?
I haven't.
So,
for all intents and purposes. Yeah,
that's fine. So Monday it was reported that Garrett Wilson was going to miss at least 3 to 4 weeks with a right knee sprain. I think it might have been a re-injury or something. He had surgery on, but that was Rich Camini with ESPN reported that. Well, and of course it's going to lock me out while I'm doing this, but at the media session, it'll do that. I have to tell from memory. The media session then, when Aaron Glenn spoke yesterday and was asked about it, ask the guy who wrote it. Like, I don't have anything for this. He's fine. Like Garrett Wilson comes back and said, like, yeah, no, ask coach. It's very much, you remember a couple weeks ago when
is the Garrett Wilson injury in the room with us right now?
Maybe. I don't know.
Is the Garrett Wilson injury just the friends we made along the way? Like, does this exist? I mean, I don't hope he's injured, but I hope he doesn't play against the Patriots. But that's okay. So nobody knows.
Nobody knows. It seems like
it's like the toughest song on Guitar Hero.
Exactly.
No one knows. You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about.
That thing was hard as hell.
Oh, it is. But so he might play Thursday night. That's the thing, is now even Garrett Wilson himself, when asked about it, was just like, yeah, no, ask coach. It very much seemed like a couple weeks ago when the reporters were asking John Morant, like, oh, why weren't you playing late in the game? Oh, just go ask coach. And that was a whole, spill over there. But things are going bad in Memphis. That's a completely different story.
I mean, most of the time, standing headline, sports, life, otherwise, things are going bad in Memphis. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Except in hip hop, because they have 3-6 Mafia, who's always putting out bangers.
And it's very topical. Yeah, they're very.
They're always
very on top of it. They at the top of the rap charts right now. 3-6.
Yeah, no, not since Hard Out Here. Remember they did win an Academy Award though, so that's something.
You changed the game, man.
They did. I was trying to stay topical at least a little bit with those. The next two I have, I think, are a lot more weird and a lot more strange. I'm going to end with hockey, but I'm going to take us. Betting scandals are a massive thing here lately. Just rocking not only MLB or NBA with Chauncey and Terry Rozier and Damon Jones and all of these we're seeing, but also an MLB with the Guardians. And now I think that the rumor I saw was that the two pitchers could be facing lifetime bans. What if it wasn't just a couple players, it was thousands of players, and not only thousands of players, but 65% of your active professional referees that were also involved in the scandal? You would be the entire Turkish Football Federation. And a story that came out on Monday, they have suspended play on like League 3 and 4. They're still playing 1 and 2 and in the Super League because obviously we make money there. But yes,
I was gonna say 3 and 4. I don't even know if you're. I mean, I guess you're semi-pro. Like you're working a job during the day and playing at night. Like that's. We're talking low level of football here.
Yes. So the thing, like they went.
Like how much corruption is there to go? Like I get it, right? These guys need the extra cash. I'm saying, where's the cash coming from? Who's bet? Who are the kingpins that are betting on this thing? The Turkish mob. I mean, it's gotta be.
It's gotta be in crime. This. But yeah, like reading about this, the thing that was so fascinating is they audited all of their professional referees, and out of the 571 of them, 371 or 65% all had active betting accounts.
Jesus.
Now,
okay. All right. So, so they gamble, maybe potentially just gamble on the side. Yeah.
So they came back and said, okay,
great. Like if you're pro referee, I think you shouldn't be doing that, but I get it. Okay.
They came back and they're like, no, only 152 of them actually place bets on the football matches themselves. So that's
okay. All right. So what is that? Like 30% of them are betting on the football matches. Okay. Yes. That's troublesome. That's worrisome, I would say.
So it's not looking good there. I think the total was 1,024 players or footballers that were referenced in like the report that came out on Monday. 27 of them were actually Super League players. So this goes all the way up to the top, while the other players referred 77 from the first league, 282 from the second league, and then the majority, it says 629 from the third league and 9 from amateur league. So I think after third, maybe it doesn't count as semi-pro. But yeah, so it goes all the way up to the top. But so maybe baseball or in the NBA and MLB should feel a little bit better that it's at least this contained.
I mean, look, I would feel worried about it if I'm MLB, especially. I would feel worried in that, like, what is the last like 10 years? There's stories every year to the point where Major League Baseball had to supplement the minor league systems, right? Because these minor leaguers are not making any money, and nobody associated with the minor leagues is making any money. And so if you've got a guy who's a quadruple A player and he's, maybe not getting back up to the majors, he's a Crash Davis trying to get through the last season. Like, those guys are vulnerable. Those are more vulnerable than major league players. But yeah, this thing is weird. And not that it's too stunning that this would happen with how much that Major League Baseball especially has embraced gambling over the last couple of years. Like, I'm sorry. And I gamble too. I gamble. We gamble we have a partnership with DraftKings. Like, if you're a fan, I love to gamble on sports. But all I'm saying is when you get embraced by these leagues, like, don't be surprised when something like this happens. And now I'm seeing all these stories of like, oh, well, they're just attacking vulnerable, Latin American, Black, these Latin American players that get drafted in the international draft and have no money to start with. And it's like, well, yeah, man, like that's the world. If it's not betting when you're a baseball player, a Major League Baseball player, it's running errands for gangsters in the city. You know what I mean? Like, that is the real world. And baseball's got to get better at this. Like, we can't have guys spiking pitches in the dirt. Like, I'm sorry, dude. If we find out they took money and did that on purpose, then yes, they should be banned for life. Like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like, that's literally the integrity of our game right there. You can't have it. So
nope.
I get serious on Weird Wednesday.
It does. I also saw, though, already brought it up, that I think that they're going to end up getting lifetime bans, even though if you're Emmanuel Clase and you have to throw to Andy Pius, he's just going to swing, even though when you're trying
I know,
to.
Right? Like, I feel like there's a way. I feel like there is a way around this if you're defending these guys, if you're legally defending these guys. Yeah. It's just like 162 games. I get they bet on the pitch, but like, pitches slide out. Like,
True.
One of these times it might not have been on purpose. I don't know.
I do at least appreciate the fact that they're like, all right, then we're just going to do away with, like, pitching props on some of that. That they're at least, it seems like they're trying to limit.
Which is, I think, a good thing to do. Again, and I gamble all the time. Like, I have a robust DraftKings account. Use code CAMSHOW. But like, I'm not doing pitches I'm not doing that. I'm not even doing next touchdown. I'm doing anytime touchdown. Anyway, go ahead. What do we got next?
So our last one, and you might have heard this. It happened after the show last week, though, so I'm still going to count it. Or maybe you just know the big story in general. But how do you feel about the St. Louis Blues? Have we ever talked about them?
I mean, it depends. I don't hate Jim Montgomery, but I think it's kind of funny that they suck after they swooped in and clearly colluded with him and signed him to a 5-year sheet right after he got fired by the Bruins. I didn't like them in 2019. I thought the Bruins cost themselves the Stanley Cup in that final, but the trip in Game 5, I'm guessing it's not going to be about that.
No, it's not. It's not. It's going to be about
there's
their
a player
goalie.
There's a player on the Blues I don't like, and it is the goalie, Jordan Binnington.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who don't necessarily like Jordan Binnington.
Not the most well.
My brother, I don't know if we've talked about it. Massive Blues fan, has been for a long time. So that's usually where I get some of my feel for the players there. But last week, the Blues were playing Alexander Ovechkin. So you do know about this, but
heard of it. Yeah.
I think, have you seen it?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have
Go
it
ahead.
too. It's the one thing I hunt down video because it's fun enough to me. So Alexander Ovechkin becomes the first player in NHL history to score 900 goals, right? 900, yeah.
900 goals,
900 goals. With an assist, oddly enough, from Binnington in a way, or at least that's how he tries to claim it at some point in time. But after the goal is scored, Ovechkin and his teammates celebrating. Obviously, it's a big moment. Binnington decides, hey, I think I'm going to keep this puck just for myself. Just
I'm a part of
it in
history.
the back pocket. Yeah. Just going to tuck it there in the back pocket to where the ref has to go back up to him and like, hey, man, we know you have it. Can you go ahead and give it to us? Like, they're going to want this. And yeah, he has to skate off and go give it back to him. Now, in the press conference afterwards, I have it all where he's like, has to fish down in there. He really, like, I don't think he was going to.
Meanwhile, if he does hold on to that, then at some point, like he might be making a save and then there's a puck in the net. Like, you know, it just falls out of his pants. There's a puck in the net. Like,
well, I don't
what
know.
does he do?
Maybe he was going to try to sell it too. Like, who knows? There could be some nice money off of that. No,
sure.
He said later that, he obviously planned to give it back. He was just, making a rib off of it. And that with him having the assist himself, he didn't think that Ovechkin would mind him keeping the puck.
Yeah, sure.
It's playful tongue in cheek, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've gone back and forth on this, to be honest with you, because these are the things I think about. So it makes me think in 2004, when the Red Sox finally won the World Series, Doug Minkiewicz, the first baseman who made the final putout, kept the ball for years. And as a kid, I was like, screw you, man. That belongs to the Red Sox. Like, that needs to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. And he did eventually give it back. And but there was a whole kind of tug of war thing that he was like, no, man, I made the final out of the World Series. This is the keepsake of my MLB career. Like, of course I want to keep that. And so I do get it. But like in this case, it's not like your team's keepsake, right? It's Alex Ovechkin's. It's the 900th goal. Like, he's got a history of shithousery. Jordan Binnington does, and that's where this
that's a very nice way to say it.
Yeah, just a long history of shithousery. That I was like, man, just give him the puck. Just give him the fucking puck. Like, clearly he wasn't going to give that back, and it's like it's not the end of the world. But what I thought was more controversial from this, real quick, Zach. Is, and this came in the Bruins game last night when David Pastrnak scored his 400th goal. Usually when the 500 is like the home runs, like 500 is the marker. And that's when the team comes out and celebrates. And when Ovechkin broke the goal record, of course you come out, you empty the bench. They made such a big deal about his 900th goal. And he's the first player to do it. But he was also the first player to score an 895th goal. He was the first player to score an 896th goal. He was the first to do an 897th. You know what I mean?
Not
like
round.
I know, but like if he gets to 1,000, like that's a crazy number. Like that is, 900 is too, but it's like, okay, he entered the season with 897. Like, of course he's going to score 900 goals. I don't want to poo-poo on fun, but like, okay, yeah, of course he's the first player to do it. He was the first player, like he broke the goals record last year. So yeah, if I'm Binnington, am I keeping the puck?
Maybe.
No.
All right.
I would think about it though. I would really think about it.
I would not.
I think
Fuck
like
it that way though. I don't know.
yeah,
I feel
I
maybe
think like half of us would do it. I think half of us would do what Bennington did, if we're being honest.
probably.
But like you're not getting away with it.
No.
You're not
No,
getting away with
you're
it.
absolutely not. The other one that I had real quick that I thought was just weird, but I didn't know how to throw in there. That I just saw. Des Bryant apparently last
Caught
Monday
it?
night at the and plus it was I just missed it from the last time we did it at the Cowboys Cardinals game last Monday night. Apparently up in his suite decided to get a haircut while he was watching the game. I don't know. That just
Love
seems
that
kind of
for him,
strange.
man.
But why do that in your suite, man? Like, I don't know.
Well, I always thought that was weird. The Atlanta Hawks have a barbershop in their arena. And I'm like, at what point, like you can have a ticket to the game and watch it while you're getting your haircut. And I'm like, in what scenario am I in a professional sports arena and thinking, you know what, this is the time. I really got to get a haircut here.
Well, can you just go get your haircut and not have to buy a game ticket and still watch some?
I don't know. I don't know.
That
about
would be a way
I don't
around
know
it.
about that.
Okay.
But I'm just like,
I might
when is that going to come in handy? Like what is, I don't,
Hear
like,
me out.
is there a cultural thing I'm missing here in Atlanta? I don't know, but
Well, the only thing I can think of, and hear me out, and I know that this doesn't apply to either of us now, but maybe you're a single man out there and all of a sudden you start chatting up, you know,
down the row.
But you know what? I could look a little bit better. Hold on. I'm going to go get you. I'll get us some snacks. And when you come back, you look a little bit fresher too. So
You spot a fine woman sitting in your row. She's dressed in yellow. You say hello. She says, "Get a haircut, then come sit next to me, you fine fellow." That's maybe that is the scenario.
I think that was
Maybe
the
that's
original
it.
line, and then Rob
I think
Bass
it
had to
is. Yeah,
rewrite it.
Young MC. Yeah,
I'm
but,
sorry, Young MC. I did the It Takes Two.
Can't
instead.
sneak.
Yeah,
You can't
I
sneak
know.
Rob Bass past me, man. There's no
My
fucking
bad.
way, man. Wonder what he's up to these days. Can we get him on the show?
Here, let
What
me
Boston sports topic can Rob Bass speak
do
on?
a quick Google search of Rob Bass.
Just make sure he's still alive. DJ Easy Rock died.
That's what I'm. Oh,
10 years ago.
It shows
This
that
is
he
really
still
weird
is.
Wednesday. This is actually Weird Wednesday.
Yeah, no.
If you go to Wikipedia, if it doesn't have a death date, he's alive.
I don't see a death date.
Perfect. It's like no turn. It's like right turn on red. If there's no sign, then you're good to go.
Exactly.
You're good to go. Unless they're telling you that motherfucker's dead right at the top, he is not dead. Let's see if we can get Rob Bass on here. He's probably a Jets fan. Maybe we can get him tomorrow.
I've always hoped for Mo Vaughn. That's low key been the guy, and he's boss related.
We could maybe get Mo Vaughn. I haven't tried. I find a lot of athletes pretty boring. So I haven't tried for a lot of them. I like those conversations like Connor Long, a guy who just does a sicko, does it inside and out. But I think we could get Mo Vaughn. And I'd find it very fascinating to get in like an in-depth conversation with Mo Vaughn about like
trucking,
the steroid era, right?
I thought you were gonna okay.
It's a guy who never got caught. He might have done them. In fact, he has admitted to like some sort of PED in the past, like how the Red Sox were around that, what doing business was like with the Red Sox back then, having to look back and have just missed, like the greatest era of Red Sox baseball, to be.
Didn't he play on that Mets World Series team too, or was he already gone out of the league by then? The Subway Series one.
I don't think he was on that team.
Okay.
I could be wrong. But I don't think he was. Benny Agbayani and Mike Piazza and those fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think he was. I think John Olerud was there.
I think I'm looking up. He 2002 to 2003. He was not there because I was 2001.
Yeah, is he with
sure.
California still, or the Angels? I guess.
Well, okay, help me out. It
So
has him in Anaheim from 99 to 2000. Oh, he was injured, wasn't he?
Yeah, he missed the whole season. Yeah, he missed a whole season one of those years. He had to play in front of a dugout back before all the dugouts had railings. I think they all have railings now, and he fell into the dugout. So, oh my God. So he would have just missed the Red Sox run. I mean, by like, 5 years or so. I think he left in
90 to 98. Yeah.
Yeah. And they made the LCS they made the LCS in 99, but 03, 04. So he's a couple years off from that, but he's like 1 year off in the Angels. He's 2 years off from the Mets. Like that could be pretty interesting to talk to him about. But you got to get a guy who will open up a little bit and laugh at himself a little bit. Anyway, we're way over time.
Sorry.
That was Weird Wednesday. Thank you to Zach. Thank you to Connor Long. Thank you to all of you for tuning in. That was great stuff. I love doing those on Wednesdays. We will see you tomorrow, live noon Eastern time, wherever you get your podcast, on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit OpenGOAAALUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.